again, it is your spiritual bestie, Infinity Bay, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about a placement we all have in our natal chart, which is Chiron, the wounded healer. So Chiron is a placement we have in our chart that kind of represents, but does represent some wounds we have in our life that can hold us back from reaching our full potential and who we really know we are destined to be. So come along with me, because I'm gonna go through each Chiron and I'm going to tell you what your wound is if you don't already know, and most importantly, show you how to heal this wound as well. And I also will have a message from me to you of love and that I want to send out to each sign that has that Chiron placement. So feel free to skip to your timestamp of wherever you have your Chiron is, and skip to the timestamp at the end to hear your love message from me to you. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into this. So first, let's talk about what is Chiron. I'm gonna make this very brief. Chiron is the wounded healer. So it's where you experience trauma in your life. So how do you find Chiron in your chart? Just go ahead and look in your natal chart and in the wheel, and sometimes depending on which site you're using to look for your placements, it will have it listed below in the text. But if you want to learn how to read that wheel a lot better, this is your chance to practice that. So look for the sign that looks like this, the little, what I'm pointing to, that looks like that. And that will show you where Chiron is placed in your chart. Today we are going to go over Chiron and signs. So without further ado, let's jump into the signs, okay? All right. Hi, my beautiful Chiron and Aries babies. Welcome in. And let's get into your wound surrounding your Chiron. So your core wound is identity and self-worth. So the way you express these wounds is you feel like you are invisible. You have a deep fear of being invisible or unimportant. You don't feel like you have the right to exist or take up space. You often compensate with this by being overly aggressive, overly controlling at times, overly extending yourself. And you want to come off as extremely independent. Because if you come off extremely independent, you give that illusion that you don't need anyone or need anything. And that's pretty much compensating from your fear of being invisible, being not seen. So if you have been allowing yourself to tap into that energy of being overly independent, so it can cover the hurt that you may feel from possibly being invisible or unimportant or unseen. So how do you heal this wound? Well, by learning that you are valuable by just being here. Your presence is enough. If I know anything about the Aries energy, y'all have a fire inside of y'all. Y'all get y'all little rep. I mess with the Aries though. Aries have a rep of being, a lot. But however, tap into that. Tap into feeling a lot. Tap into being a lot. Tap into taking up that space when you walk in a room, letting yourself be heard, letting yourself be seen. You're only feeling invisible and unimportant because at some point in your life you were convinced or told, or somebody made you feel that way. That is where a lot of these Chiron wounds come from, is from feeling those ways, and somebody possibly made you feel those ways. So you walking into a room and not let me slow down. You walking into a room and taking up space, you letting your voice be heard, and start small. All these things are easier said than done. Start small with these things, whether it's you having conversations with your friends and you're speaking up more in a healthy way and not in a wounded way. If you follow what I'm saying to you, that will be the beginning of you beginning to heal that wound within inside of you. The gifts you actually have, but you have pushed down, is you actually have a lot of courage and leadership within you, and you can inspire other people to see the power within themselves as well. But you have to see the power within you too, and first and foremost, so that you can properly show people how to authentically tap into that power they have within themselves. A little affirmation for you, my Chiron and Aries baby, is I am enough exactly who I am, and my existence is powerful. So I am wishing so much healing on you and your self-worth and your self-identity. You are loved, you are important, you are needed. Don't forget to click the timestamp so you can receive my message from me to you. Talk to you later, my Chiron and Aries baby. Bye. Hey, my Chiron and Taurus babies. I hope you are doing well. So let's get into your wounded healer and how that shows up into your life. So with a Chiron and Taurus, your wound is self-worth and security. The way that you express this wound is that you have a strong fear of not having enough. And by when I say enough, I mean money, love, beauty, all of the stuff we desire here on earth. And you might struggle with body issues or images or ever attached to material things to fill those voids in your life. So ways that you can heal this wound is, recognize your worth, and it doesn't come from what you have, it comes from who you are. So once you recognize that, it's okay to have nice things in this life. I don't say all of us, but majority of us want nice things, and nice things is all about perspective, what you feel like is nice to you. But we know that that's not where we're trying to go with this. However, just really affirming that you have nice things because you draw on that. You have that energy. You have nice things because of who you are. Okay? We want to switch this around. The nice things and the relationships that you have in your life and all of that should not be what your identity is in. However, understanding that you have these nice things because of just simply who you are and you existing is all you need. So I hope that helps in that, and I hope that makes sense with that, okay? Let me know if that makes sense, if you resonate with what I'm saying to you. How your giftedness is like helping others build grounded self-worth and abundance consciousness in their life. So, it's one thing to say you believe these things, but to let it be embedded in your subconscious is a whole nother ball game. So they can really reflect your outer world, so I hope that makes sense. And if that resonated with my Chiron and Taurus babies, you are so much more than the material things you have in your life. And I'm a material girl too. I love nice things as well. So I'm not shaming you for that. However, I want you to understand that you have those nice things because you are simply bomb and you are simply deserving. Just because you are walking in here and being who you are is why you have those nice things. So an affirmation that I want to leave with you, my Chiron and Taurus baby, is that I am deeply worthy of love, beauty, and stability. You are worthy of all those things. So please let me know if this resonated with you. Drop it down in the comments. And don't forget to click your timestamp for my special message from me to you. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye. My Chiron and Gemini babies, welcome. So here are some identities and things you might do when it comes to your Chiron being in Gemini and how to heal those things, okay? So first and foremost, your wound is communication and being misunderstood is something that you deeply fear in your life, and it can hold you back from reaching your full potential. So how do you express these wounds? You often feel like your thoughts and your words doesn't matter, your voice doesn't matter, and you're often stay silent because you are in fear of being wrong or misunderstood. So you can know what's going on, you can know how to solve the problem, you could be ahead of the game, but you stay silent to avoid being misunderstood, or, you know, people thinking you might be crazy for the way you think and all of that stuff. But that is actually your superpower and your gift. How do you heal this in your life? You want to trust your mind and your voice, and you want to always speak your truth, even if it's shaking the tables a little bit. Now, personally, I love a person who don't mind shaking the table. I love a little rebel. And there's a lot of people out here who love that as well. So you got to tap into that and believe that. And unfortunately, you probably was raised in an environment where you probably weren't allowed to always speak differently. You know, you probably could have came from a really religious background, or a set of beliefs that your family might have had, or whoever raised you, and you could have probably thought way differently from them, or saw how to solve a problem differently. And you might have tried to speak up on that, but you got shut down at some point in your life. And this is just giving an example. It could have, happened in many different aspects of your life. But however, that became a wound for you, because that was a time in your life you was probably opening up, being vulnerable, and really have the solution. But because certain people might have been stuck in their ways, they didn't want to hear you. But I want you to know that there's so many other people out here who understand you and think like you, and who will admire that drive, who admire somebody who don't mind shaking that table. Because I'm telling you, I love me a little good shaking up, and a little, different way of thinking. I get inspired by that stuff personally. So yeah, just speak your truth, and don't be afraid to shake the table a little bit. So some of your gifts are teaching, writing, speaking, and helping others, through that and express themselves. So really use your gifts. Our Chiron is our wound, but once we heal from it, the beautiful thing is we can show others how to heal from that as well. So really tap into that energy of your gifts and expressing yourself. Start a blog, start a platform where you're speaking your truth and all of that stuff, so that you can help people. If you've been thinking about becoming a teacher of some sort, go for it, do it. Create that world for yourself where you can go and teach people how to be great and speak up for themselves. So an affirmation I have for you to take is, my voice is sacred and my words are my birthright. Okay? So I want you to take that with you. If this resonated for you, please drop a comment below, repping your Chiron in a Gemini. And also do not forget to skip to your timestamp to get my loving message to you. All right, talk to you later. Bye. My beautiful, wonderful Chiron and Cancer babies, welcome in. Let's get into your Chiron and your wound and how to heal that. Okay, so first and foremost, if you have a Chiron in Cancer, your core wound is emotional safety and nurturing. So at some point in your life, you did not feel safe or nurtured, and it became a wound for you. How do you express this wound? So you struggle with feeling unloved, abandoned, or emotionally rejected in your life. That's a fear for you, and so you don't put yourself out there because of that fear. You may struggle with self-nurturing, or fear of being too much for people. When you want to express your emotions and say how you feel, you might go into that shell like a Cancer does, and don't really express how you feel, because you have a deep fear of that rejection, of your feelings not being validated, valued, looked at, and really taken into consideration. So how do you heal this? To heal your Chiron in Cancer, you want to create emotional stability within yourself. Because the thing is, the one thing I really want to teach on this channel is healing your inner world. Because when your inner world is stable, when your inner world is at peace, that is going to be a reflection of what you will get out into your reality. You won't have people around you that does not value the way you feel. You won't even stand for that type of stuff anymore. And you will, in a healing way and in a grounded way, be able to express yourself and really say what it is that you need for that healing. Okay? You are your own home. That is within you. You know, Cancers, they tend to go into their shell, but that's okay with going to your shell, but just make sure your shell is nurturing for you as well, and not another place of chaos and self-abandonment and self-sabotage. So make sure your home is sacred and safe for you as well. Okay, we don't want to go from out here feeling unsafe to going inside of us and feeling unsafe as well. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that resonate with you. Gifts are you're a compassionate caregiver. So you are very compassionate because you understand how it feels to not be validated or valued when it comes to your emotions and how you feel. And you have a strong emotional intuition, and you're great at creating space for others. So you are probably the person that everyone comes to when they need that comfort, that nurturing feel, that validation. People come to you for that. So that is one of your gifts. And my advice to you is the way you can thrive in that is by giving that to yourself first. Stop giving that to people if you don't give it to yourself first, because it's going to make you become resentful towards others. So just don't remember that, okay? And an affirmation I want to leave with you is I am safe to feel. I am safe to feel, and my emotions are valid and healing, okay? Sometimes our emotions can be very healing for other people, and it can be very healing for ourselves. So my Chiron and Cancer babies, I want you to first and foremost always validate yourself first, okay? That is always going to be very important in what you need. So if you are a Chiron and Cancer baby, rep that below. Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to click the timestamp to get my message, my loving message from me to you. Talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Leo babies. Woo woo. I am a Chiron and Leo baby, so I know a lot about having a Chiron in Leo because I live it in my life every day. However, I make strides to heal it. I am healing it, and I am walking in it. And one of the ways I am walking and healing my Chiron and Leo is that I'm sitting behind this, in front of this camera right now, showing my face, putting myself out there to the world, even though I struggle with a big deep fear of being rejected and not seen, and not what is the word I'm looking for, getting a recognition I feel like I deserve for what I give out to people. So if you have a Chiron and Leo, that is what we struggle with. Recognition is self-expression, and we have a deep fear of not being special or lovable or seen. Sometimes we might overperform or underperform and hide our light out of fear of being rejected. I spent many years hiding who I am, hiding who I was, out of fear of not being good enough, out of fear of other people being chosen over me. But here's the thing with my Chiron and Leo babies. Nobody has to choose us, because we were meant here to create our own lane. All right? We were meant to create everything for ourselves, so we don't have to worry about people choosing us. You know, we just got to believe in ourselves and tap into that, okay? So how do we heal? Embrace your inner child and shine without needing that applause or validation. And that is so real, because I even struggle on this with making these channels. Nobody probably will even watch this video, okay? It's a chance nobody will want to watch this video. I hope people do. Hope I get a lot of people to watch this video. But I would struggle with wanting to give up because nobody will watch my videos. I would want to give up because I feel like I needed to have that to show me that I'm actually doing good. But by just showing up and doing it is all I got to do. And that's how you heal that as well. Our gifts are teaching others how to shine in authenticity and joy, okay? Leos, we are authentic. I'm a Leo sun and moon too, so very authentic, very genuine, you know, and we thrive out of showing others how to bring in joy in our life and bringing joy to other people. So that is one of our gifts. So our affirmation for us Chiron and Leo babies is my light is divine. I shine because I was born to. Okay, you can't help that. You can't help that. You were born to shine, baby. So go ahead and shine. So if you are a Chiron and Leo like myself, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Rep what house it is in. Rep whatever struggles and you might be experiencing, how you overcome those struggles. And also do not forget to click the timestamp to jump to my message of love from me to you. Talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Virgo babies, welcome, 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 welcome. So let's go into what your Chiron wound is and how to heal that within your life. So your wound is perfectionism and not feeling good enough. So the way you express these wounds, you can be a deep inner critic. You criticize yourself a lot. You criticize the other people around you. You're always self-fixing. You will overwork, give, micromanage. You know, these are the things you would do to feel worthy of yourself. You could be hypersensitive to flaws in yourself or others. So, and the thing about that is, all of that is, it seems negative, but it's great gifts to have if you learn how to heal them and use them correctly. So, how to heal, to begin to heal your Chiron and Virgo. You, by embracing your imperfections as a part of being whole. So really embracing your imperfections, embracing your flaws, embracing when you make mistakes, embracing when you didn't get it right this time. Because understanding it's a part of your journey and it's really building character and who you are and who you're becoming. And healing doesn't mean fixing it. It does not mean fixing it. Healing is accepting, not fixing, okay? So just heal by accepting those flaws, accepting things that are not perfect in your life, okay? Finding that silver lining. Chiron and Virgo, if you always find a silver lining in the things that you might not like, you will heal you in ways you wouldn't even imagine, okay? So your gifts, you are actually a master healer and a guide. Virgos are great people to come to for structure and stability and clarity and understanding on things. So if you took away that hypercriticism and you know how to pay attention to the details, you can help a lot of people heal in things they might overlook or not see and miss, the steps they might miss. As long as you're not criticizing and being loving and healing, you will be well received, actually. So that is some of your gifts. And my affirmation to you that you could take within yourself, my Chiron and Virgo baby, is I am whole and enough in every moment. My presence is healing. You being present and you being there is healing enough. So if you are a Chiron and Virgo baby, go ahead and drop that below. And don't forget to click the timestamp where my message from me to you is. Talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Libra babies. My hair's sticking up. Chiron and Libra babies. How are you? Okay, so let's talk about what your wound is and how to heal that wound. So for my Chiron and Leo babies, my Chiron and Libra babies, is you have a wound around relationship, fairness, and self-balance. Okay, so sometimes you don't have a very balanced relationships in your life because of that wound that you need to heal. So the way you might express these wounds is that you have a fear of abandonment and losing your peace in your life. May people please or struggle with codependency a lot. You could feel unseen in partnerships. So you tend to bring in a lot of unbalanced relationships sometimes in your life, and codependency as well. So you spend majority of your relationships not allowing yourself to be heard or seen or feel valued in what you bring, and you have to begin to understand and heal around your self-worth and to understand that you bring a lot to the table too. So I hope that makes sense and that resonates with you. And the way that you can heal up as far as your Chiron in Libra is that you can build out your identity outside of others, and that's come with the codependency. So you have allowed your identity to be wrapped up in your relationships and let that be what your identity is. So you really creating identity into from who you truly are outside of other people will be very healing for you. And you need to find balance in really honoring your needs as equally as you would the next person. Moving forward, you're no longer putting people before yourself. Your value does not come from what you give to others. And I hope that resonates and I hope that makes sense for you. Once you heal this, your gift will be you being able to teach others how to love being authentically and have fair love in their life, to identify when things are balanced. Will be very important and very good for you and healing for you as well, is teaching others how to only attract fairness into their life and balance relationships. Okay, you can really do a lot with being a relationship guide, like, if that makes sense. Like, really heal that. And no, I just feel like I just want to keep telling you, you're so deserving of a balanced relationship. You're so deserving of a balanced relationship. If you're not having balanced relationships right now, we're gonna have to reevaluate that. And that's okay, because some point down the line you were taught to have a relationship that wasn't balanced. Maybe that was what was represented to you growing up. Maybe that's what kind of relationship your parents might have had, your grandparents. That's what you were taught, that some people's needs are more valuable than others, and subconsciously you took that on. But it's okay, because now that you identified it and you understand it, you can now heal it, and you can teach others how to heal it as well. So my affirmation for you, my Chiron and Libra baby, is I create harmony within and relationships that reflect the truth. Okay, Libras are about truth, law, balance, fairness. Okay, so begin to represent that in your relationships, whether if it's work, whether if it's romantic, friendships, whatever it is. Begin to demand that in your life and watch how you heal around it. Okay. All right, so if you are a Chiron and Libra baby, go ahead and drop that below. And don't forget to jump to the timestamp with my loving message from me to you. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Scorpio babies. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Let's get into what your wounds are with having this placement in your life and how to heal them, okay? So if you have a wound surrounded with Chiron and Scorpio, you have a wound when it comes to trust, power, and emotional betrayal. Okay, so and the way you express these wounds is you have a deep fear of betrayal, abandonment, or emotional invasion. You can struggle with control, fear of loss, or repression of deep feelings. So at some point you started to withdraw your feelings, out of fear of someone betraying you. You might have been vulnerable once in your life. You might have not been covered the way you should have been covered as a child. So you have a fear of putting yourself out there out of being abandoned and not valued. And you have a hard time trusting. So the way you can heal this is reclaim your power by letting go. Transform pain into wisdom. Okay? Transform your pain into wisdom. Also, by doing this, I don't want to say it softens the blow, because your pain is your pain and you are validated in that, and I understand it, However, sometimes we want to find a way to free ourselves from that as well. And turn it into wisdom to help other people can be very freeing and very healing for you. It doesn't take away from what you might experience. It doesn't take away from you what you might have went through. However, it is very freeing for you, and it would do you great good if you tap into turning that into wisdom to help yourself and the next person. And your gifts that you have for having Chiron and Scorpio is that you're deeply intuitive, you're a healer, and you can guide others to emotional rebirth. Scorpio usually represents rebirth, renewal. So you're always transforming, and that gives you so much wisdom that you got to understand how much of a gift that is. Even though how painful it can be, it is very much a gift for you as well. You do a lot of shadow work and empowerment, so you're not afraid to work on yourself. If you want to heal and tap into this, you won't be afraid to work on yourself and to be afraid to grow. So just don't forget that that is your gift of transforming, rebirthing yourself, and really turning it into a empowerment for you and other people. Affirmation I want to leave you with is, I am safe to feel, release, and transform. My power lies in my truth. Okay? Your power lies in the truth in what you've been through. Okay? People who've been through a lot know a lot. They've seen a lot. They usually tend to be ahead of the game. Turn that into your superpower, okay? My Chiron and Scorpio babies. So if you resonate with that and you have a Chiron and Scorpio, drop that below. And don't forget to jump to the timestamp for my message from me to you. All right? Talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Capricorn babies, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well and welcome. So let's get into what your wound is and how to heal that wound. We have Chiron and Capricorn. So your wound is an achievement, responsibility, self-worth through success, okay? So you thrive off of your identity being what you succeed at, what you have accomplished, and which that's okay. That's not too bad or nothing wrong with that, but it becomes that fine line if it's like can be damaging to you. If you don't succeed at something, do you feel like you're not worthy at life, or you're not deserving of life because you didn't succeed at a certain thing? Is where you have to draw that fine line when it comes to having a Chiron and Capricorn. So the way you express your wound is you feel like you got to always have it together or prove yourself through status and hard work. You may struggle with resting and being soft and asking for help, my Chiron and Capricorn babies. And how you can heal this is understanding that you are worthy beyond your achievements, and learn how to soften and receive, which means learn how to tap into that feminine energy a little bit more and balance that out for yourself. You are deserving of receiving. It's great to work hard for what you have and have that discipline, but also let life show you how proud it is of you as well by sitting back and letting yourself receive, okay? Your gift with having a Chiron and Capricorn is that you have a lot of wisdom. You're a great leader in helping others rebuild their foundation, and from helping people build their foundation through inner strength, okay? So you've been through a lot. You've probably seen a lot. At some point you were probably told, you probably came from a home that success was the main thing. You know, if you didn't get this degree and that degree, that, you know, you might be looked at as you didn't accomplish as much as the next. And while there's nothing wrong with having that discipline and stuff, like I said, it could be very damaging to when life give you those blows of, you know, things not going the way that you painted it out to be, okay? However, by you knowing this and knowing how it probably feels, you probably had a lot of L's as well, but those L's are actually lessons. And by you teaching others how to tap into that and look at it more as lessons of how you can build a sturdy and disciplined foundation through that, will serve you well, and the universe will bless you many times over by doing that. So my affirmation to you is, I am worthy of rest, love, and ease. I release the pressure to prove myself. Okay? So you don't have to prove yourself to anybody but you. And with that being said, because you are the only person you need to prove anything to, Add in that ease for yourself. Add in that rest for yourself. Add in that love for yourself, okay? All right, if you are a Chiron and Capricorn, baby, go ahead and drop that below. Let's chat about it. Don't forget to click on the timestamp to get my message from me to you. Talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Aquarius, babies. How are you? I hope you are doing well, my little trailblazers. So let's get into your core wound and how to heal that, okay? So if you have a Chiron in Aquarius, your core wound is belonging and being too different. Okay, you struggle with feeling like you're different, and you struggle with finding that group and that community that works for you. And you probably try to make yourself fit into communities and groups that you really didn't even mesh with like that, okay? But you were having a deep fear of being rejected or being too different, okay? So how do you express this wound? You feel like you're an outsider. You feel misunderstood. You could overly identify with being rebellious or isolate emotionally. Okay, so at some point in your life, I'm sure you probably grew up in a household where you did not have the room to think differently, which caused you to grow that, I don't want to say the habit, because there's nothing wrong with being rebellious. I was telling my Chiron and Gemini babies how I love people that shake the table a little bit. And a Chiron and Aquarius, you people are here to shake the table. So there's nothing wrong with being rebellious and having that inner fire to be different. And a way that you can heal this is, honor your uniqueness as your gift. You don't have to change to fit in with anything or anybody. And you change the world just by being you, because you are the innovator. You are the trailblazer. You have that inner knowing within yourself. And you are one of those people too who are ahead of the game. So do not minimize yourself by trying to fit into anything or anybody. Lean into your uniqueness and it will serve you well here on earth. Gift, you are a visionary healer. You're a social reformer and a community connector, okay? So you do well in community. You do not need to fit into one particular group of people. You can bounce around to different people. You can give your thoughts to different people. You can give your visions to different people, and it will serve each people, all of them, well. It's like you try to force yourself to fit in, but you don't need to fit in. You being you and showing up, people are looking forward to that within each group and each community. So I pray and I hope you understand and really lean into that, okay? The affirmation I have for you is, I belong exactly as I am. My uniqueness is my power, and it definitely is. And I hope I expressed that enough for you. Your uniqueness, your visionary energy, your different way, your futuristic ways of thinking, that is needed in a lot of what we have going on. So never be afraid to go against the grain for the greater good. Okay, for the greater good. Don't go against the grain because you're out of anger or resentment. Go against the grain for the greater good, okay? And yeah, so that's what I have for you, my Chiron and Aquarius babies. If you're a Chiron and Aquarius, go ahead and drop that below. And don't forget to click on the time set to get my message from me to you. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Pisces babies, we are saving the best for last. Welcome, and let's get into your core wound. So with your core wound regarding your Chiron and Pisces is that you experience a lot of spiritual pain, disconnection, or loss of faith. So you have probably spent your lifetime this far having ups and downs experiences when it comes to your faith, losing faith, feeling like you're out here alone, especially spiritually. You might have dibbled and dabbed in a lot of areas in your spirituality to try to find that thing that is right for you. So the way you express your wounds is, you may feel like life is too painful, or that you're too sensitive to exist. Struggles with boundaries, addiction, and escapism is the way you cope with life, okay? Your healing in this is reconnect to the divine within. Your sensitivity is a gift for spiritual and collective healing, okay? Your gifts, you are a mystic, an artist, intuitive, and you can teach others how to return to unconditional love. Okay, an affirmation I have for you is, I am divinely guided and spiritually whole. You are. My soul is the light in the dark. Okay, I just feel like I needed to take a moment for y'all, my like Chiron and Pisces babies. If you are a Chiron and Pisces baby, go ahead and drop that below. Sending you so much love, and do not forget to jump to the time set where I have my message from me to you. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. My Chiron and Sagittarius babies, welcome. Let's talk about what your wound is and how to heal it. So your wound is around belief system and your purpose. So how you express your wound is that you can feel lost spiritually or disconnected, or like your truth and what you believe, it does not matter. You may fear being wrong or judged about your beliefs. So, and the way you heal that is find your own truth by exploring freely. Do not be afraid to go out here and find what works for you. Visit different places, explore different spiritualities. Put them all in a melting pot for yourself if that's what you need to do. We all just need faith in something, and you have the gift of finding that and sharing that with other people to help them on their journey as well. Your gifts is a spiritual guide, philosopher, or a truth teller. You're not afraid to go deep enough to find truths about certain spiritual beliefs, or the way other people might do things in other areas. And sometimes we get told things that's not always the truth. You're not afraid to take that deep dive and bring it to the light. So yes, what you say might be judged, but that does not mean it is not the truth. And take it from me, sometimes all it is people just hate the truth. And that's not your problem. You're not going to make that your problem, because you are the truth seeker and the truth teller here in this lifetime. So you lean into that and you go with that. My affirmation for you is, my truth is sacred. I walk my path with purpose and faith. Everything you do is with purpose. You are that. When I think of the Sagittarius, I think of the what am I looking for? It's not the high priestess, but it's just someone who is very high spiritually. Okay, so I want you to lean into that and thrive through that. Okay, the trailblazer. All right, I'll talk to you later. If you are a Chiron in Sagittarius, drop that below. Let's talk about it. But I will see you later. Have a good one. And do not forget to skip to the end of the video to get my message from me to you. Love you. Bye. Hi, Chiron and Aries babies. Here's my message from me to you. I hope I did it right. Did it right? What I want for you is for you to walk into the room, for you to turn them heads, for you to say what you have to say, to always move with grace and love. You don't have to force yourself to be seen. You don't have to make too much noise to be seen. You are the moment. You are her. You are him. And life will bless you so much if you walk in and believe in that and moving with so much grace throughout it. Forgive those who hurt you. Forgive yourself for minimizing yourself for so many years. You deserve to be here. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be validated. And I wish so much love and healing for you. And I will talk to you soon on my next video. Bye. Hi, my Chiron and Taurus baby. This is my message from me to you. You are clearly that girl. You have the finer things in life. You deserve the finer things in life because of who you are. If you spent many years feeling like you weren't deserving of these things, so you overcompensated, I want you to end that today. Understand that you have what you have by simply because you are here existing. Understand you have what you have because you are taking the time out of your life to help the next person. As long as you're helping the next person heal in areas of their self-worth and what they are worthy of, the universe will always bless you. You will always be taken care of. You will receive things in ways that you didn't even know was possible. So allow yourself to sit back and tap into your natural Venus energy, okay? You draw in luxury and abundance, babe. You draw in beauty, babe. You have enough of that. You exude that. And I really want you to sit back, understand that, and believe that, okay? So, sending you so much love from me to you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Hi, Chiron and Gemini, babe. Here's my message from me to you. Your voice is golden, your thoughts is golden, and you are deserving of being heard. I want you to forgive those who might have shut you down at your most vulnerable points in your life so that you can move forward and go towards and strive to the person that you desire to be. Keep shaking up those rooms and shaking those tables in a healing way. We don't want to be doing that out of resentment. We want to do it out of healing. We want to do it. We want to use our voice to help those who might been shut down and shut up for so many years. You no longer walk in that anymore. You no longer identify with that anymore. Keep using that beautiful voice you got. Keep doing the healing on that throat chakra. And stop letting them people say what they want to say. Speak up for yourself. You do know the answers. You know them a lot of the times, okay? You do have the answers, Sway. All right? So that is my beautiful message from me to you. And I will see you on the next video. Bye. My Chiron and Cancer, baby. Here is my message from me to you. You are home. You are nurture. You are all of those things we desire in a person we seek love from, authentic love and genuine love. But you have to remember to give that to yourself first. Allow yourself to feel that through you and heal in ways you didn't even think was possible by allowing that for yourself. Once you really heal in that and give that to yourself, you can authentically show up for other people in a ways of not being resentful, or giving guidance and that true nurturing feeling we all need. You are appreciated and you are so valued. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye. Chiron and Leo babies, this is my message from me to you. Allow yourself to be seen. You shine so bright when you put yourself out there, even when you think no one's watching. You do yourself so much justice by being vulnerable, being authentic, tapping into your creative ways, being that trailblazer, creating your own lane, creating your own identity, setting a bar, okay, for yourself. There's so much value in you, and you are so deserving to be seen. And this comes from a personal place, okay? I understand all too greatly of how it feels to put yourself in the shadows and hide yourself out of fear of being rejected or overlooked. It's okay. You can no longer be rejected. You can no longer be overlooked because you are creating a lane of your own that many won't be able to keep up with. So I'm wishing you so much love and healing in that area in your life. And don't forget that inner child. Go back to what it is you wanted to do as a child and live through that and thrive through that. And I will talk to you on my next video. Bye. My Chiron and Virgo baby, your wisdom, your knowledge, your attention to detail, the way you care is like no other. People need to understand all you do is care, probably just a little bit more than the next person, and that is a gift. But because of that, you can help yourself and others reach and go so far in their life. But you have to start with yourself first. Stop criticizing yourself and embrace yourself. You are a beautiful person. You are so knowledgeable. You offer so much to the world. Okay, we need you to be able to keep us in place and keep us together out of love. So I'm wishing you so much love and so much healing in that area, and I will talk to you on the next video. Bye. My Chiron and Libra baby, we're no longer letting people walk over us, okay? That is my message for you. You deserve balance in your life. You do not show up anymore. Show your value by overgiving and overstanding everyone else around you. It is time for you to overstand yourself and what is going on in your inner world and what you need. You are deserving of balance in your life. You are deserving to be loved correctly. You are deserving of being heard. You are deserving of being valued. You are just such a deserving person. You try your best to be fair to everyone around you. You try your best to understand everyone around you, and you deserve that in return. And I want you to understand, and I want you to believe that. And I want you to really tap in and show other people what fairness looks like in a healing way, and how to draw that into their life as well. You keep being beautiful as well. Keep pushing that beauty out of here. Keep pushing that beauty out here. People are very drawn to that about you. I will talk to you later in the next video. Bye. Chiron and Scorpio, baby. Here is my message to you. I want to just simply pray and send you so much healing from the pain that you might have experienced in this lifetime. I want you to set yourself free. I want you to continue to transform through any trial and tribulation that you might experience in your life, and know that you are bigger than that. You are bigger than that, and you have so much power in the things that you've been through. Let the things you've been through now become that fire that you need inside of you. Find that balance between that emotion and that fire, so that you continue to get to where it is that you are destined to be in your life. I just keep hearing, do not be afraid to transform. Do not be afraid to forgive. I know that might feel uncomfortable, but it's going to bring so much transformation and so much blessings that you can show other people what the power of forgiveness and transforming can do for your life. And I'm wishing you so much love, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye. My Chiron and Sagittarius babies, this is my message from me to you. When I think of a Sagittarius, I think of someone who is a trailblazer, okay? You set the tone and you set the path. And I want you to continue to tap into that energy. I want you to continue to tap into your wisdom and your purpose, okay? You are not afraid to go above and beyond that fine line that people want to stay at. And I want you to thrive in that. I want you to lean into that energy, okay? Your truth is very valuable, and I don't want you to ever forget that, okay? So that is my message from me to you, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Chiron and Capricorn, you inspire me. And I want to say this because I believe my North Node is in Capricorn, so I understand how it feels to go after that success and how hungry you can be for that success. But I want to give you a message of, that is just a part of one of your great capabilities, and it is not your whole identity. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of you. And no matter what does not go your way, I no longer want you to identify the things that not go your way as a loss or failure. You were put in a position to be a leader, and a leader knows how to express and give wisdom about things that might not have went the way that they wanted it to go. Let go of those voices in that subconscious belief that you only are valued in what you accomplish. Free yourself from that. That will be the biggest accomplishment you ever achieved. Trust me. So that is my message from me to you, and I will talk to you later. Bye. My Chiron and Aquarius babies, my trailblazers, my futuristic just peeps. I want you to keep showing up as who you are. If you think different, that's okay. You bring so much duality to different groups and different settings and different communities, and your outlook on life is valued and deserved, and you do not have to always go against the grain in a resentful way to get your point across. Okay? Healing that so you can really let people hear you and see where you're coming from with your different ways of thinking and what you really bring to the table. Okay? And I'm wishing you so much success. Keep being that individual we need to reform the things, to open people's eyes to the things, okay? I love somebody who gonna come in and shake up that table. All right? So I will talk to you later and see you in the next video. Bye. My Chiron and Pisces babies. My message from me to you is that you are love. You are source. You are faith and spirituality. You are all those things. And if you lean into yourself and you connect with that in yourself, the freedom and the peace that is behind that, I no longer want you to identify with your faith outside of you. Your intuitiveness, your connection, you probably have the deepest connection to source and spirit and faith, and that's why it can hit a little harder. You are so protected, you are so divinely guided, and don't you ever let anything steer you from that. Anything that ever shook up your faith or gave you confusion and belief, I want to free you from that. I want to give you that healing energy. I want you to go out there and I want you to guide people the way you're supposed to guide them. Find that faith within yourself. It's no longer outside of you. It's all within you. And that is my message from me to you with so much love. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.